It was a rainy Thursday night in New York, the kind of night that made even the city lights look tired. Inside a five-star restaurant, Catherine Hale, the CEO of one of the biggest tech firms in the country, checked her diamond-studded watch for the third time. 10 minutes late, she muttered. Typical. Catherine was known in business circles as the Ice Queen, sharp, calculating, and untouchable. Love wasn't on her agenda. She had built her empire brick by brick after being abandoned by her fiancé years ago, right when her company was on the verge of collapse. Since then, she promised herself she'd never depend on anyone again. So why was she here? Because her best friend wouldn't stop insisting. Just one blind date, Kathy. 1. Maybe not everyone out there wants your money or status. Catherine sighed as the waiter poured her wine. Then the door opened, and a man hurried in, drenched from the rain, carrying a small child wrapped in a blue raincoat. He looked around, embarrassed, then spotted her. "Miss Hale?" he asked, slightly breathless. Catherine blinked. "You've got to be kidding me." His name was Ethan Brooks, a mechanic from Brooklyn, a widowed father to 6-year-old Emma, who had begged to come along because the babysitter fell sick. "I completely understand if this is, well, awkward," he said, rubbing the back of his neck. "But I didn't want to cancel last minute." Catherine's instinct was to leave. But then Emma looked up at her with wide hazel eyes and said softly, "You look like a princess." Something in Catherine's chest cracked just a little. Dinner started awkwardly. Ethan talked about fixing engines and bedtime stories. Catherine spoke in clipped tones, sipping her wine. She thought she'd never been on a date this unpolished. Yet, for some reason, she didn't want it to end. When Emma accidentally spilled her juice on Catherine's dress, Ethan jumped up, apologizing over and over. Catherine expected anger to rise, but instead, she found herself laughing. Really laughing, for the first time in years. "Relax," she said, dabbing the stain. "It's just a dress." After dinner, they walked out into the rain. Ethan offered his only umbrella, but Catherine noticed his daughter shivering. Without hesitation, she took off her coat and wrapped it around Emma. "You'll catch a cold," she said. Ethan smiled softly. "You're not what people say you are, you know." Catherine froze. "And what do people say I am?" He looked at her gently. "Cold. Untouchable. But I see someone just tired of being hurt." His words hit deeper than she wanted to admit. Over the next few weeks, they met again, coffee in the park, walks with Emma, late-night talks about loss and hope. Catherine found herself doing things she hadn't done in years, laughing, cooking, feeling.